So we're live. So let's get into this. So guys, who has heard this one before? It's hard to sell because they won't see results for at least 3 months because they don't have a sale happening for at least that long. Can I get a raise of hands for everybody that has heard this one? Drop it in the comments below, like, oh my God, I've heard this one. And also, what's up, Sid? And also drop below where you're listening from, so this way I can know. But yeah, if you heard this one before, it's hard to sell because they won't see results for at least 3 months because they don't have a sale happen for at least that long. Okay? Who's heard this one? All right? Let me know below. Here's the thing, guys. This, and Sid's right, it's a buying sign. And anytime you hear this, and a lot of people struggle to sell contracts, high ticket contracts, not low ticket $1,000 a month contracts, talking high ticket contracts, because they hear this one excuse, right? And then all of a sudden it manifests into their own mind and it becomes real. Oh yeah, I can't sell this guy a long ticket, high ticket long-term contract because he's not going to see a sale. Like, I definitely can't sell him a high ticket short-term contract, $5,000 a month for 3 months because, you know, he won't see a sale. Like, so we can't justify that. So we'll sell month to month until he's happy. Like, we'll just see if he stays happy. That is the shit you do. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to show you right now how to deal with this. I got 10 minutes. I actually got 12 minutes. So I can do some questions. But I got 10 minutes. I'm going to show you how to deal with this to be able to handle this very, very simple excuse and never have to run into it again. Okay? So check this out. So anytime that you hear that, the way that you handle it is to explain to the prospect and to be able to justify the entire partnership month by month. So here's what I mean by that. And actually, we went through this before in another sale because they're like, well, our sales cycle, it was actually for solar. It was a solar client. Like, our sales cycle isn't going to be for like 60 to 90 days. So if I sign a 12-month agreement with you guys, which we did, he ended up asking us to send in the 12-month agreement. He's like, if I sign a 12-month agreement with you guys, like, I'm not going to make who knows how soon I make my money back, right? What's going to happen in month 1? It's going to happen in month 2. I was like, yeah, you're right. You're probably not going to make a sale actually, month 1 or month 2. And that's the thing, guys, be straight with the client. A lot of time they're looking for you to be defensive or try to stick up for yourself and try to like say something to sell them. Okay. Stop trying to sell your client. You want to phrase and position everything in order to get them to ask to buy from you. Okay. I had like a hiccup there at the same time I was saying that. I was getting passionate with my words, but I had a hiccup at the same time. So, so what you're going to do is say, here's how this is going to work, Mr. Customer. So month 1, what's going to happen is we're going to start gauging what the wins look like in month 1. So this way, you know exactly where we're at in the process, and we can judge if we had a win based on these metrics and not based off of acquisition. All right. Because let's face it, your sales cycle is 60 to 90 days. You're not going to make a sale in month 1. Am I right or am I wrong? And of course they're going to say right, because you're looking for them to say yes, right? We're fishing for yeses, because the more yeses you get, the easier it is for them to say yes. Okay. The same exact reason why you always want to look for people that are already spending money on ads, because they already know it's important. It's easier to move a budget than to create a budget with somebody that's never spent money on ads. It's easier to get somebody to say yes if they've already said yes to something. So anyway, you're going to go. So month 1, what's going to happen is we want to be able to see how many leads we have coming in month 1, because month 1 is going to be us having an optimized campaign, test things out. I mean, that's just how it goes. If you don't like that, I would probably just stay off the internet altogether. Haha, right? Little joke. So month 2, here's what that's going to look like. Now, you're getting sales every 60 to 90 days. So walk me through what the percentages of sales that you actually close in 60 days. And they're going to give you that number. Okay, so you're saying basically 20%. Is that warm traffic or cold traffic? They're always going to say, well, that's referrals. Okay, so warm traffic. So walk me through the cold traffic. They're like, well, we don't really have the numbers on cold traffic. Like, we do most of our business through referrals. Who's heard that one? Oh my God, this is the easiest way to overcome that. Okay, so what you're saying is you have no data on cold traffic. Am I hearing you right? They're gonna be like, yeah, we really don't have any of that. Okay, so let's just say, to play devil's advocate, it's maybe triple that. Okay. We don't know. Could be double that. Could be less. I don't know. But we have to play devil's advocate because I would rather be in a better position than a worse position. You with me? And they're going to be like, yeah, no, absolutely. They're always going to say that, right? Remember, we're fishing for yeses. That's why we make sure that it's a rhetorical question at the end. Are you with me? How do you feel about that? Are you on board with this? I'd be like, yeah, of course. So then say, okay, so what we want to look at is month 2 is going to be managing your pipeline. Month 1, we're testing, we're optimizing, we're getting leads. Cool, kicking ass, right? Month 2, what we're going to start doing is managing your pipeline. Do you manage your pipeline now? Yeah, of course I do. They always say that because they don't want to sound like they don't, okay? Nobody wants to sound dumb, all right? Nobody. So of course they're going to say yes. And then you always follow up with this one question. Awesome. Well, first of all, you need to acknowledge, right? Acknowledge, agree, reframe. So awesome. I applaud you for doing that. I kind of figured you would have already. So can you walk me through that? That's the magic line, guys. Can you walk me through that? Because what they're going to do is say, yeah, well, we like have the leads, we put them in the CRM. Okay. So based on your pipeline of leads, how many do you have closing this week? They're going to be like, I don't, probably like 2. And they're going to have to start searching their brain for answers. They have no fucking clue. Okay. And to be honest, most agency owners have no fucking clue, right? No offense to the agency owners that are not tracking, but this is the main reason why you track. Because if you cannot create predictability based on projections, you don't actually have a business. You're kind of just like running and hoping for the best, crossing your fingers. And that's what most of these business owners you're selling to are doing too. Okay. And it makes it easy to have this conversation if you yourself are practicing these best practices. Okay. It makes it easy to have the conversation. All right. So you're going to get into that. Month 2, what we're going to start doing is we're going to help you manage a pipeline. We want to be able to see of the leads coming in, how many of those conversations are looking to turn into money. Okay. How many of the conversations you've had are looking to turn into cash? All right. These are called projections. We're going to be able to know how much money you're going to be making over the next back half of the month or over the next month. Okay. Now, month 3, that's when we bring it home. Okay. Month 3 is when we bring it home. All right. So these are the metrics we're watching for in order to create a win. So let's say that we sign a 12-month contract at $3,000 a month. Okay. Which everyone should be selling. Very easy contracts to sell, especially to B2B. So we come in. So that's $9,000. You already told me, Mr. Customer, that you're making roughly, $5,000 on a project. Okay. So in other words, what you're saying, worst case scenario, and let me explain why we're going to go over worst case scenario. Because if you hit the worst case scenario, which would make me sad, but if you hit the worst case scenario, what's going to end up happening is you still have these in your pipeline that are going to start bringing in cash. Okay. This, as we discussed before, pipeline management. So we already know that a lot of these being worked are still coming in. Sexy, right? So what we want to do is worst case scenario, let's say that in month 2 and 3, you close a combined 2 accounts, right? That's going to give you more than likely a net profit of 0 and a gross profit of $2,000. Okay. Because that's $5,000 per deal. You spend $9,000. So excuse me, a gross profit of $1,000, and you'll probably net maybe 0. If you're selling yourself, you might net maybe negative 1,000. Okay. Because let's say you're paying your guys out, expenses, whatever. So, but from a growth standpoint, you make $1,000. Okay. And did I mention you also get to write off all your advertising? So that's why if you go negative a little bit, it actually doesn't matter because it's money that you spent, you're writing off anyway. We both know that. So the way this is going to work, that's worst case scenario, because you've got money coming in on the back end. We're managing our pipeline, right? So that's absolute worst case scenario in your first 3 months. Does that make sense? That's if like the apocalypse happened and then the world is literally ending. And then God forbid, you only did 2 deals. Okay. I don't see the apocalypse happening anytime soon. I don't see the world ending anytime soon. I'm confident that it's not going to, but I just have to throw the worst case scenario at you. So how does that sound? Does that make sense? Like, are you following me? How we're going to manage month 1, 2, 3. Month 1 is leads. Month 2 is pipeline management. Month 3 is bringing it home, cashing in. Okay. You'll cash in some a little in month 2, but again, worst case scenario. That's it, guys. When you do that and you break it down in this way, especially when you know your customer, and I've sold to so many industries at this point, I know sales cycles of like so many different industries. Remember, guys, I've been doing this in just digital marketing for 5 years, selling just digital marketing for 5 years, and selling coaching for 2 years, and in 100% commission sales for 10 years. Like, I get it. Okay, guys, I get it. And so if you want to be able to position this to a B2B client, this is how you do that. All right. There's ways to sell much bigger deals on the back end. So for instance, we were talking to, this is kind of a separate topic from it's hard to sell 3 months, but we were talking to like a good old boy is what they call them here in the Midwest, where they're older business owners that don't really get it. So the best reference for that when they didn't really get it, since we couldn't leverage this other stuff, was to tell them it's like having an additional employee that you don't pay for. So if you guys are ever trying to figure out another way to leverage at the end, it's like, well, if you were to hire a marketing, because if you're using like Go High Level, which I don't use, I've heard great things about it. And I've done enough, I've heard enough from our clients about it to understand like the gist of what all it can do. But basically it follows up on with your leads on the back end. Okay. And the way that's going to work is that's like having another sales rep. Okay. So not only, and this is why you guys are underselling yourself, by the way, agency owners, you're underselling yourself because you're not looking at it in the way I'm about to explain to you. Okay. If you're selling something to somebody at $2,000 a month on a 3-month contract, this is why you're underselling yourself. If you're selling it at $3,000 a month on a month-to-month contract, you're underselling yourself. If you're selling it $5,000 a month on a month-to-month contract, you're underselling yourself. Here's why. Because if they were to bring in a marketing director, which you're looking to be for them, you're basically you're looking to be their CMO essentially, handle all their marketing, right? Guess what, guys? They're paying those people $6,000 to $10,000 per month. Salary doesn't count ad spend. Okay. You're looking to hire a good sales rep. Guess what, guys? A good sales rep does not work on 100% commission, right? If they go into a corporation, they're getting paid salary plus commission, which is going to add up to anywhere from like $5,000 to $10,000 a month. So on the low end, they're going to be spending $10,000 a month with somebody else to do what you're doing now, plus ad spend combined. So when you explain it to them that way and say like, hey, Mr. Customer, instead of hiring a sales rep for $5,000 a month, which is typically what it's going to be with commission and salary, and another CMO or marketing director for $5,000 to $10,000 a month, we're not going to ask you to pay us $15,000 a month to start out with. And they always say like, oh, that's good because I don't have $15,000. So then you come back and say like, exactly. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do all of that for a fraction of the cost. Oh, by the way, because our team's working for you, you're not going to have to deal with people complaining about stuff, showing up late to work, getting sick, not wanting to work holidays, and all this other crap that you deal with now with having an employee. Do you enjoy that stuff? They're gonna be like, no, it's kind of annoying, whatever. And they'll be exactly. That's why people love to do this with us. A fraction of the cost, and typically higher results without the headache. How does that sound? Bam. That's how you do it, guys. So anyway, hope you can leverage these tips. I'm going to try to come at you even more on these live videos. I'm going to start going live on YouTube soon and not just the Facebook group. So make sure you go subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't. Make sure you go to my Facebook group if you're not in there yet. So, all right, guys, I got to hop off. I got 1 minute left. Drop comments below. I'll come back in later to check them out. If you want to see any other videos, drop those below too, so I can start creating those. And these come straight from live sales calls, guys. I bring you these straight from live sales calls, and these are the way they handle them. So, but I'll catch you guys later. Let's kick some ass this week.